Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Surprisingly enough, we've actually got some good news to talk about with Call of Duty for the first time in a little while here. We also have a handful of things to look out for the upcoming week of COD as well, with several different updates dropping before the devs head out on their Christmas and their holiday and their New Year break towards the end of the week as well. So quite a bit to break down here today, starting first with some, like I said, surprisingly good news. Even more surprising, the good news is about the anti-cheat, which very rarely are we talking positive of when it comes to Call of Duty here. Ricochet has not had the most, respectable timeline in Call of Duty, I guess you could phrase it. It's been a rough time, but they put out this post over the weekend regarding the state of the Ricochet anti-cheat in Black Ops 7 and Warzone, saying a new message from Team Ricochet. Season 1 launched with the strongest anti-cheat performance Warzone has ever had. The vast majority of players are completing their matches without encountering a single cheater. This is our cleanest Warzone launch in Call of Duty history. During the first weekend of Season 1, our upgraded detection systems identified suspicious behavior within a few matches on average, backed by stronger protections and platform security requirements like TPM 2.0 and Secure Boot on PC. We'll keep evolving our defenses, disrupting cheat providers, and protecting fair play so you can stay focused on your matches. Kind of surprising here, although I will say my experience supports what they're saying here for the first time in a while. Throughout Black Ops 7 multiplayer from launch up until this point, I think I've run into two obvious cheaters, and I got report confirmations on both of those, which is a nice thing to see. And I've put a lot of hours into multiplayer. And then in Warzone so far, funny enough, just over this past weekend was the first time I ran into a actual obvious cheater, and there'll be a video coming on that later this week because it was kind of crazy. But this is certainly positive news for Ricochet for the first time in a long time, that their detection system, their new improvements and upgrades that they made specifically for this year with TPM 2.0 and Secure Boot and everything, is actually working greater than it has in the past. The anti-cheat itself is working greater than it has in the past. Now, I do think some people will probably argue there's going to be less cheaters on the game overall when there's a lot less players on the game overall, and I think there probably is some correlation there. Obviously, the numbers are down for Black Ops 7 and for Warzone right now, so less players, less cheaters potentially. But nonetheless, as far as the gameplay goes, for those who are on the game, it does seem like cheating is probably in one of the better spots it's been at in COD in some time. And that's not to say there are zero cheaters. There's never going to be that reality, but it is seemingly doing better than it really has, I would say, ever. So hopefully they can continue on this trend throughout the lifespan of BO7, and obviously as we move on into Modern Warfare 4 late next year as well. Now, as mentioned, the upcoming week is going to feature several new updates to look out for, some of which we've covered, some of which we haven't here. So just a heads up, COD Updates is now fully investigating an issue that I've seen a ton of comments about. They say we're looking into an issue that causes stuttering in the kill cam when eliminated by a weapon with legacy attachments. So attachments from MW2, MW3, BO6. If someone's using one of those guns, you watch the kill cam, it might make your game incredibly laggy. They're looking into that. They'll have a fix out for that soon. We also know this upcoming week we are going to see another new Warzone meta update drop, the final meta update of the year. They say obviously last week with the patch notes that we covered that this was the first of a two-step plan as we approach the holidays. Next week, which is now this week, we'll be releasing a second wave of weapon adjustments specifically focused on Warzone. So we know that we'll have a major weapon update and meta update coming later this week. They didn't give specifics on what day that'll be happening, but obviously once those patch notes are out, we'll be breaking it down in full detail and subsequently going through and talking about the best weapons after the update, things you want to look out for. Funny enough, I've got a lot of meta videos planned, and I'm really hoping that this meta update doesn't unfortunately invalidate several of those videos that I've got ready to publish here over the next few days. We'll have to see though, but I will keep you guys informed with all of that, obviously alongside everything else going on in COD on a daily basis here. So if you want to stay in the know, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you enjoy this video as we go through all the details here, do me a favor and drop a like on it. It's always seriously appreciated. We also know coming up this week we are going to have the next free trial for Black Ops 7. They posted this last week in their community apology about Black Ops 7 being underwhelming so far, saying that next week, again, which is now this week, they're gonna have multiplayer and zombies for free alongside a double XP weekend coming as well. So there will be a free trial. They have not detailed, again, the exact specifics here, what's going to be fully available across multiplayer and zombies, or when it'll be kicking off and when it will be ending. Once we have the details there, I'll be sure to keep you guys informed. And then I did also want to take a look at the various Trello boards here for multiplayer zombies and then for Warzone as well, because while there are a lot of things listed on the Trello in general, and we'll go through like full Trello breakdowns at some point, probably later on this week, so stay tuned for that. I did want to take a look at a few of the known issues that actually have some fixes scheduled, so we could see some updates and some fixes to these in the coming days, considering we've got several updates inbound this week. So for example, here they do say the Double Bubble Zombies Prestige 10 challenge is not tracking progress correctly. They've already got a fix scheduled and a fix planned for that. They also have a fix scheduled for the Jaeger 45, currently firing slower than expected after you go through and you pack-a-punch it. So after this update goes out, there's going to be a much faster fire rate on the Jaeger 45. And then the Force Multiplier Zombies challenge also is not tracking progress properly. They've got a fix scheduled for that. So a couple of quality of life updates and bug fixes inbound for zombies there. We also have several Warzone fixes that have been scheduled as well. So here they do say they are investigating an issue that prevents the Specialist perk package from including the Mountaineer perk. So obviously, if you're able to access the Specialist perk package, you should be getting every single perk in the game. Unfortunately though, right now there is a bug where Mountaineer is not included in those benefits, so you're not getting the combat roll, the added fall damage protection from various heights there, which is a pretty big deal. Mountaineer is one of the better perks in perk 1, so they do have a fix scheduled for this. Absolutely fantastic news there. That way you don't have to worry about any potential fall damage, ruining your Specialist gameplay after you go through and you acquire that. They also say they are investigating an issue that is prompting Xbox free-to-play players to sign up for Xbox Live when you attempt to reconnect to a match after you end up getting a crash there. So really niche, but also really game-breaking bug there if you are on Xbox and you get into this situation where you're just trying to get back into a game and it's saying, hey, buy Xbox Live, you should do it. And it's just like, no, we don't got to do this right now, right? So an annoying one here they are looking into as well. And then one that I know a lot of players are wondering about is what's going on with the voice chat. And they do have a card listed here. However, it is not specifying that a fix is scheduled yet. They are aware of this though. They're investigating an issue causing voice and text chat disabled due to platform restrictions to appear incorrectly. Basically communication in game right now, voice chat, text chat has all sorts of bugs. Doesn't matter what platform you're on, PC, Xbox, PlayStation, there's a ton of chat issues going on in this game right now, and they are now investigating it, which is good news there. We just don't have an ETA as to when this could be updated, when this could be fixed, so we'll have to keep an eye out there. Obviously, if anything changes, I'll be sure to keep you guys in the know, but quite a bit of potential for upcoming updates in the next few days. Obviously, a couple of confirmed updates with the free trial. We also have the Warzone meta update inbound. On the 16th, we're going to end up seeing the holiday updates go out or start and kick off there with the Naughty and Nice event and the various other Christmas themed updates inbound too that we covered over the weekend in full detail. So a lot of potential for bug fixes, gameplay changes, patch notes, all sorts of things dropping in the next few days. We'll of course be covering all of it as it does end up coming out. So if you want to stay in the know for all things going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and drop a like on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.